Hey guys, Jacket cruising the Sierra Farm, and Jess, the famous Jess. He is a new daddy of 9 puppies. Mwah. Aww, he's a good boy. He loves to go for rides, obviously. It is another W word out today, which is reason for my crazy hairdo. Although I don't need the excuse of the wind for crazy hair day. Anyway, hey, this video's not about you. Okay, go sit down. Go sit down. Good boy. Good boy. So let me get driving into town. We're on the back roads. Well, I call them the back roads. I live out in a small little country community. Anyway, so what is Azure Standard? Because I am on the way to go pick up my Azure Standard order. So Azure Standard is a U.S.-owned company that provides organic bulk foods, and they have a system where you can have it shipped to your home, but then you have to pay for shipping prices. And that's how I started out, because I was like, wait, what is this drop zone stuff? And then I learned more about the drop zone stuff, and I'm hooked. It's great. It's great for pulling community together and learning new people. And I love going to pick up my Azure order because of those things. But plus, I'm getting great product for really reasonable prices, guys. How did I learn about Azure Standard? Well, I follow a few different homesteading channels and have for quite a few years. And I started hearing those people talking about my Azure order, or my Azure haul, or my Azure this, Azure that. And I was like, okay, I got to look up what the heck is this Azure thing. And I'm thinking it's some kind of, co-op or something. I just didn't really know. So then I looked it up and was pleasantly surprised. You can get everything at Azure Standard. And I'm going to touch on that in just a second. Anywhere from canned goods to bulk dry goods to household items to outdoor items to animal feed to frozen foods to milk, dairy products, all of the above. It's like basically your big grocery store, except in the spring they even actually sell vegetable starts and flower starts. I have not done that yet, but they also do fresh fruit and vegetables. I think I might have already said that, produce. But they are amazing. So the thing that I was going to touch on, let me just go ahead and get that out of the way so that we can continue talking all things Azure Standard. So obviously, if you're following my channel, you know that I have a milk cow, a little Dexter milk cow. And early December, I ordered, knowing that I'd be out, so I needed to order them ahead of time. I ordered milk filters to filter my milk. And I'm still waiting for those filters to show up. It's now January 11th or 12th, somewhere around there. And I still haven't gotten my milk filters. The last info I got was that it would be between January 10th and the 25th. I was like, well, I'm going to be out by then. I actually had to strain my milk this morning in a coffee filter. It takes a lot longer through a coffee filter, which I was really surprised because of the thinness of a coffee filter. I was blown away that it took longer than my milk filters. So I had this aha moment like 3 days ago, which was my cutoff day for ordering. So I jumped on. I was like, I've got to see. Maybe Azure Standard will carry milk filters. I don't know. They carry, some livestock things and livestock feed. And so I figured I'm going to give it a shot. And so, of course, I went to their website and I typed in milk filters, and it actually understood what I was asking for, and didn't automatically tell me no. So that was exciting. And then up pops the 2 sizes that I'm aware of. And there's my size that I need. And I was like, are you kidding me? So I can get it here on the day that I knew that I wasn't going to have any filters left, which was this morning. And they have them. And I'm so stoked. So Azure for the win yet again. So I'm actually headed to town right now to pick up my order. I get all of Coco's alfalfa pellets. There's something about her. It's, I guess cows are very, very, very smart, and they will pick out the things that are good and nutritious for them, and they will eat those. I mean, if left to only have, not very high nutritious value out in the pasture or out in the open range, then they'll eat whatever to stay alive, right? But there's something about the pellets, alfalfa pellets with Azure Standard, that she absolutely loves. They're smaller and greener than anything I've ever bought before. She doesn't like the large size. She just doesn't. And then I've also been ordering all of the things that I want to buy for making my own chicken food. And let me tell you, so far so good. My chickens are looking amazing. They are so full and fluffy, and they're looking healthy. They weren't looking so healthy this winter, early winter, late fall and early winter. They went on the longest molt of their entire lives, and they were looking like the tiniest little things. They did not look like the breed that I bought. Even though I was feeding them well, and switched over to organic feed and mixing my own feed. And then sometimes I'll throw in a bag of scratch and peck organic feed, and then just do all of my other additions into that. My food is lasting longer than it did when it was just regular feed. But anyway, here's another thing that I'm going to pick up today is with my milk, I've been making raw milk kefir, however you want to say it. I make that every morning, and it is turned into a smoothie for us. It feeds this guy. He gets a couple spoonfuls into his kibble every morning. His coat is super soft and shiny and lovely. And he loves it. And we are incorporating new things into his diet, because we are going to try to feed a raw diet, work into feeding a raw diet for him as much as possible. Blueberries are on that list. Broccoli microgreens are on that list, which I'm growing right now. And so I'm going to pick up a 5-pound box of frozen blueberries, the milk filters, and my animal feed. And so I actually don't need any chicken food this month. By the way, this is a monthly deal. And you can just go on, in fact, in the notes, I will, in the description box below this video, I will link, which will help me, just so you know, a link using my Azure share code, which will give me like a $25 gift card or something towards my next purchase, which would be lovely to have. But on the topic of money back in your pockets, is Azure has what's called Azure Cash. So every item that they sell has an Azure Cash value. So over the month period of time, Well, actually, it can be consecutive months. You can save it up and then use it in a big order where it makes your order virtually free, or at least takes a good chunk out of it, depending on how much you buy, which is wonderful to have. I got to use, I don't know, I think it was like $15 or $20 the last time that I used it. I've saved it up for the past couple months. But I love that. They have it's an incentive to just, have that ability. And so, what else did I want to touch on with Azure? So you could literally go on using the link that I'll provide in the description box below, and you have the ability to search to see if there's a drop zone near you. They are nationwide, and it just so happens, I was so stoked to find, I was like, oh, there's not going to be one in my small country town, and boy, was I surprised to find that there was. And like, I've looked near my kids all have a drop zone nearby. I've looked by my parents have a drop zone nearby. And those are 4 different states that I've checked into. But it's really cool. And what I noticed about our drop zone recently is that it's growing. Not this past order, but the one before, there was like something like 30 some people. And that's grown quite a bit since I first started ordering with them. When I first started ordering, I don't know, there might have been like 15 people. So it's doubled in size. And I guess it just all depends on if you need something for the month, Like I said, it's a monthly deal. And that's another thing that I wanted to touch on, is the coolest part of it is you can order and add to your order multiple times through the month until you hit your cutoff date. And they will tell you what your cutoff date is. So a date and a time as to when your cutoff happens. And at that point, you can't order anymore until the following month, because they're about ready to come and ship your order. And they won't charge you until the order ships. So you can fill up your shopping cart and add to it, subtract from it, whatever you want to do. And it's wonderful. One time a month, you have to make yourself available to go pick up your order. My orders are on Sundays. That might not work for a lot of people, depending on the time. But you can also arrange with your drop coordinator, which you will find out who they are. And you can arrange for somebody else, like a neighbor or something, to come pick up your stuff if you're not going to be available. But I absolutely love Azure Standard, and we are almost to town. And I always like to show up early so that if the truck driver gets there early, we can already start and offload product. It's really fun to watch it happen. Everybody lines up at the back of the truck, and one by one, we help offload the boxes or the feed sacks or whatever it is.
Good God.
But don't run into them.
And every month you get a new catalog for the following month, like what might be on sale, etc. So that's the cool thing too, is that they run sales as well, or specials. And yes, I love Azure Standard, if you cannot tell. So got my milk filters, my blueberries, and my feed sacks that I'm picking up today. Whew. It's 45 degrees out, but the W word, that wind chill's pretty gnarly. And I didn't stop to take the time to put my sweatshirt on. Anyway, so we got our packages, all the feeds in the back, and now we gotta go unload it, Jess. We gotta go unload it. I got 6 bags. I gotta load up in a wheelbarrow and get them to the shelter. This little miss is always wanting to come in and get the treats while I'm working, isn't she? So I am just going through and filling these 2. No, you don't. No. Out, Coco. Out. Out. Go on. Out. Thank you. I'll give you a little scoop. How about that? To keep you busy. Okay, you want a little scoop to keep you busy? Sharing a little bit. Are you sharing with your boy? Just because you guys finished your stuff doesn't mean you get to come beg for more while Mama's working. You. Yeah. I know you're feeding for 2 or eating for 2, but geez, girl. I am not going to say it again. Get out. Brogan, you too. Hey, go on. Turds. There's plenty of feed out there. You go eat out there. All right. So 3/4 of the way up on both of the barrels. So that's good. That should last me over a month. Maybe a little over a month. Or right on a month, depending. Yay. All right. I'm going to put the lids on them all. And then give them a little bit more hay to eat. And get out of this wind. And just like that, I have my sales flyer for February and my milk filters. Whoop, whoop. And boy, I forgot to mention that they're cheaper than they were on Amazon. Guess I know where I'll be getting my milk filters from.